With bee numbers dropping alarmingly worldwide, there is a lot of talk about bees at the moment. Here are some things you might not know about these industrious little insects. Bees evolved from wasps, and they still look a lot like them, which is why the two groups are often confused. However, if you are being harassed at a picnic by insects that swarm around the ham and fried chicken, then don't blame bees. Your attackers are most certainly wasps, as the key innovation that led to bees was dietary. Where wasps are hunters and scavengers, bees are vegetarians, feeding themselves and their offspring entirely on the nectar and pollen found in flowers. Everyone knows that honeybees live in hives, with thousands of workers busy turning flower nectar into their sweet syrup. But the vast majority of the world's 20,000 bee species are solitary creatures, provisioning their simple nests with a mixture of nectar and pollen known as bee bread. Look closely at the head of a bee, and you'll see three tiny bumps like glassy marbles perched high between their large faceted eyes. Though incapable of forming images, these ocelli, or eye spots, track patterns of light intensity and polarization that help bees navigate, particularly in the evening. Some flowers, like tomatoes and the plant heather, keep their pollen in closed chambers accessible only by a small hole in the end. When bumblebees visit, they vibrate their wing muscles at just the right pitch, causing the chamber to resonate and spray pollen out onto their fuzzy bodies. Can bees see color? For bees, the visible spectrum stops somewhere in the yellower shades of orange, but they can often still recognize red flowers by their shape and smell. Things get more interesting at the other end of the spectrum, where bee vision dips into the ultraviolet wavelengths. This opens up a hidden language of attraction based on the colors of the flower petals. What we perceive as the uniform yellow of a dandelion flower looks quite different to a bee, rich and luminous at the center, where yellow pigments combine with ultraviolet to produce a shade referred to as bee purple. This combination and many others occur on the blossoms of more than a quarter of all flowering plants studied to date. The place where bees are the most diverse is in the desert and dry plains like the American Southwest, the Eastern Mediterranean, and parts of South Africa. Though flowering seasons may be brief, arid conditions provide lots of bare ground for nesting and help prevent the fungal infections that afflict bees in wetter habitats. While they might not be in the kitchen cooking the food, bees play a vital role in nearly every meal we eat. Over 150 food crops require or benefit from bee pollination, not only the obvious fruits and vegetables, but also spices, herbs, sweeteners, oils, colorings, emulsifiers, and more. While we could still eat meat and wind-pollinated grains in a world without bees, our diet would be pretty dull and probably not very nutritious.